right, good afternoon, everyone. We're here for the criminal non-jury trial docket this afternoon. We have Ms. Bonilla from the state. We have Mr. Verderamo in the courtroom for Jake Douglas Gibson, case number 20-CT218.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson is before the court. He's prepared to enter a change of plea.
Okay.
No contest as charged. Driving license suspended. Docket says second-degree misdemeanor, but that's wrong. It's a first-degree misdemeanor.
All right, let me take a look at it.
Mr. Gibson, according to the information, Mr. Gibson, the state has made an offer of an adjudication of guilt, 6 months of probation plus court costs. As a special condition of probation, he's to serve 10 days of the weekend work program. And upon completion of the 10 days of the weekend work program and paying all costs, the probation will automatically terminate. So it's a shall terminate upon completion of the payment, the financials, and the 10 days of weekend work.
Do we know if Mr. Gibson has already pre-qualified for the weekend work program?
Have not, and that's the other issue, Judge, is that we're going to ask. He has some testing done. He's physically capable of doing it. He doesn't have any prior felonies. I know his criminal history. And with respect to being affiliated with any gangs, I know I'm comfortable saying he's not a gang member. We're going to ask that the weekend work begin sometime around February 27th or thereafter. That's the last weekend of the month, and I don't know if they're going to work program will start then or it'll start the following week of March.
All right. Ms. Bonilla, you got your microphone on mute.
I apologize, Judge. The plea offer in this case is correct.
All right. Any objection to weekend work beginning February 27th or thereafter?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Gibson, will you raise your right hand to be sworn?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth and the truth and nothing but the truth? Yes.
Will you state your name for the record?
Jake Gibson.
Thank you. You can put your hand down.
And speak up loud because the prosecutor on Zoom.
Jake Gibson,
Thank you. And your date of birth?
April 6, 1985.
And the offer that your attorney placed on the record to resolve your case today would be an adjudication of guilt. You'd be placed on probation for a period of 6 months. That probation shall automatically terminate upon the successful completion of all conditions. The conditions include 10 days jail. Is that with credit for time served?
Yes.
With credit for time served, which may be served on the weekend work program, which shall begin February 27th or thereafter. All court costs, including costs of prosecution, would be imposed. Is that the offer you wish to accept today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Judge, to clarify, I'm sorry to interrupt, he has 0 credit for time served. He was issued a citation, not for custody.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at credit time served just for judgment and sentence purposes, knowing that he doesn't have any.
Yes.
All right. And Mr. Gibson, do you have any questions about that or anything else we've discussed here today?
No, Your Honor.
Right? Do you wish to accept the offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
And I have a plea form in front of me. Is this your signature on this form?
Yes, Your Honor.
And by signing it, you've indicated that you've read it or it's been explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand all of the rights listed on this form?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that you're waiving those rights by entering your plea today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that your plea will be used against you in a deportation proceeding if you're not a United States citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that driving while license suspended or revoked is an enhanceable offense, meaning you could be facing higher fines, higher penalties, a longer loss of a driver's license, or a possible felony charge if convicted of this in the future?
Yes, Your Honor.
And knowing that you still wish to proceed with your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he done everything that you've requested?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any additional questions, Ms. Bonilla?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Verderamo, will you stipulate to venue and a factual basis for the plea?
So stipulated for purpose of plea.
All right, Mr. Gibson, I'll accept your plea, find it knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently entered upon a factual basis and in your best interest, adjudicate you guilty, place you on probation for a period of 6 months, which shall terminate upon the successful completion of all conditions, including 10 days jail with credit for time served, which shall be served on the weekend work program, which may begin February 27th or thereafter.
That's fine. If it's the 27th isn't available.
The problem is it says no later. Can you remove that?
No later than 6, he has to report no later than 6 p.m.
No, this weekend work.
Okay,
So-
let me
He'll report in the
change
morning for work.
that. Okay,
So just
let
say
me-
to begin serving February 27th or thereafter pursuant to CCSO.
There you go. Because there was also a civil infraction that was consolidated.
All right, give me one moment.
Sure, sorry.
All court costs, including costs of prosecution, shall be imposed.
So to begin serving February 27th?
Or thereafter pursuant to CCSO.
Or thereafter? I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
Or thereafter per
Oh,
CCSO. Call your county sheriff's office.
okay. Let me remove this one.
Oh, you removed the wrong one.
Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right, and then Mr. Verderamo, you had a motion?
Yes, Judge, the infraction was consolidated previously by Your Honor. We request in light of the resolution that it be dismissed.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, the traffic infraction shall be dismissed. Sir, you're to report to probation today before you leave the courthouse. It's located here on the first floor around the corner. We'll have you step right over here to be fingerprinted. Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Thank you, Mr.
Have a good
Verderamo.
day.
Thank you, you too. All right, that looks good, Natalia. All right, let me go to Ms. Armpriester. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
I'll let you call your cases in the order in which you wish.
Judge, first for this afternoon is Israel Morales Vasquez, 20 CT 438. Your Honor, it's my understanding that he's been removed from the country via ICE.
Right. You see that when he was brought into custody, there was an ICE hold placed upon him.
Yes, Your Honor. While the defense's position would be that his failure to appear today is not willful nor substantial under Kimber v. State, I do understand that today was marked as a mandatory appearance and he is not here, even through the internet.
All right. Ms. Bonilla, what would you like to do?
Judge, the state would like to move to request the court to issue a bench warrant. He was out on bond for $500. We're asking that you set the bench warrant for $1,000.
We would ask for an ROR if the court's inclined to issue a warrant.
So if he's been deported, Ms. Bonilla, what is the purpose of the bench warrant? Just to keep the case open indefinitely in the event that he returns to the United States?
Yes, Judge. For right now, we're just asking for a bench warrant. I mean, the case will remain inactive until that bench warrant is served.
All right, bench warrant, $1,000 bond.
I'm sorry, this is case number 2016-438.
That's correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Your Honor, would be Mr. Yosebel Prieto Hernandez, 20 CT 858. Judge, I have attempted to locate him. I've also had my investigator attempt to locate him, and we have not located him.
And defendant is not present. Ms. Bonilla, what would you like to do?
Judge, the state would like to ask the court to issue a bench warrant. I am not showing here whether bond was issued to him or not for this case. I don't see it marked here.
He was never arrested, so
Oh, NTA.
appearing on the notice.
Okay. Judge, I would just ask the court to issue a $250 bond. Hopefully, if he's arrested on the warrant, we can get him to court to address this matter.
All right.
The defense would request an ROR.
No response.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll do a bench warrant ROR.
And Your Honor, I believe those were my only two cases on this afternoon.
They are. You may be excused. Thank you, Ms. Armpriester.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. All right, that brings us to Michaela Escabar Francisco, 20 CT 587, unrepresented and not present, set for a status. Ms. Bonilla.
Judge, the defendant's presence was required today, this afternoon. The state would like to request the court to issue a bench warrant.
Any comments as to bond?
She was issued an NTA in this case. That's what it's showing on my end. I'm going to ask for a $250 bond.
All right, I'll order a bench warrant, $250 bond.
No response, no line.
Thank you. Next on the docket is John Paul Kelly, case number 20CO657, unrepresented. The court set this for a status and required his appearance. We're not showing anybody for this afternoon's docket in custody, correct? Okay. Defendant is not present. State, what would you like to do?
Judge, the state would like to move for the court to issue a bench warrant. Our recommended amount for the bench warrant would be $500. This court had issued the bond of $250 when this case first opened back in October. So we're just asking that you set the warrant for $500.
All right, bench warrant, $500. And I believe last is Jose David Luquez, 20 CT 1758, also unrepresented. Court set this for a status and required the defendant's presence. The defendant is not present. I believe Mr. Luquez is a minor.
He is, Judge. She's 16 years old.
All right, what would you like to do?
Judge, I think we're having notice issues, but he was in court back in November, and he was instructed that he needed to appear with his parent. So I'm going to ask the court to issue a bench warrant and to release to parent when that bench warrant is served.
All right. Bench warrant or pickup order, release to parent.
So. Release the parent?
Yes. All right, anything, excuse me, anything else to come before the court?
No, Judge, I do have a question. It's more of a procedural question.
Okay.
Let's say that we're doing
More
arraignment.
like a hypothetical when you say, let's say. Do we
Oh,
need to go
sorry.
over-
I just want to know how to better address it in court with you during jail
All right.
arraignments or arraignments in general.
Hang on, do we need to go off the record?
Sure.
All right, Natalia, do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that'll conclude this afternoon's criminal non-jury trial docket.